we're focusing on a single floor, fully accessible design. And part of it is not to band-aid with ramps afterwards, but to have it built into the design where the land just gradually comes onto the property, and the kitchen, living room, and everything, and even the bedroom is available on the main floor for later stages of life.
From the Zoomerplex in historic Liberty Village, The Zoomer with Marissa Semkiw.
Welcome to The Zoomer. I'm Marissa Semkiw. People tend to think bigger is better, and that is true too when it comes to housing. But as Zoomers make life adjustments and reorder their priorities, they're finding out there's another option: downsizing. Not only because small spaces are much less expensive to build, buy, or rent, but they also tend to have lower maintenance costs and utility bills. So today, we'll look into all aspects of this, including the benefits and savings. And later in the show, we'll look at design considerations for small space living, and we'll show you some neat ideas for how to make the most of your tiny backyard. But before we dive in, let's tee up the topic.
Ever heard of the tiny house movement? Simply put, it's a growing real estate trend that favors living simply in small homes. These micro homes measure, on average, from 100 to 400 square feet, often resembling studio apartments. Over the last 40 years, the average home in Canada has increased in size by nearly 1,000 square feet to an average of 1,950 square feet. But over the last decade, the push to downsize has grown, especially as home costs have soared. This phenomenon is particularly pronounced among Zoomers. Approximately 2 out of every 5 tiny house owners are over age 50. It's no wonder. Tiny living has large benefits, from environmental to social to economic. And with the right amenities and design, the so-called tiny house can look and feel twice the size.
Okay, so Vivian, I think it's fair to say that Zoomers know what they want. They're savvy buyers, right? So they know what they want now and what they'll need in the future. What is it, as a real estate agent, what is it that they're looking for?
What I would say is they're looking for an ease of lifestyle because they've raised a family, they've lived in their home for 40 plus years. Their kids aren't home anymore. It is really their time. And what I'm finding, the majority of clients out there that I work with, we all work with, and we see that they are ready to move on, to have fun and enjoy their life if they're well. This is very important. Health is probably number one. So they make this choice to make a lifestyle change, to sell their family home. We're finding in the suburbs it could be around $2 million, let's say in Toronto. You sell a family home, $2 million. They're looking for a condo, let's say in the city, for $1 million. So they're going to net under $1 million once they pay the fees, brokerage fees and moving and so on, under $1 million. So the question is, they're going to have some money in their pocket, and they're going to have some money for their retirement fund.
Absolutely.
So that's really probably one of the #1 goals.
Now, within this movement to downsize is a perhaps smaller movement to really downsize into something called a tiny house. Other than just being small in square footage, so 400 square feet, what does a typical tiny house have in terms of amenities?
So a lot of the tiny homes we see on TV are on wheels, and I want to distinguish what I'm talking about is more of a permanent dwelling in the backyard. And how this differentiates is that it will be fully accessible without any ramps. You don't have any loft beds or anything like that. And everything being on the same floor with your kitchen, washroom, and the benefits of a condo, but in your backyard.
Now, of course, one of the biggest challenges, Andrea, is letting go. Typically, when you think about downsizing from that large suburban home in the city to something like a tiny house, or even just downsizing to a condo, one of the biggest challenges is letting go. And I've heard of some deals being hinged on whether or not there was space in the house for that old tattered couch.
Absolutely.
So is that sort of what you see too?
We do. We see a lot of boomers that are coming and they want to take certain pieces of their furniture, but they also want to customize it, maybe maybe they have grandkids coming to visit and they need a high traffic fabric, but they also have an emotional attachment to pieces. They may have raised their family on this one sofa, or they may have a dining room set that can really be transformed and updated, given a little bit of love too, because maybe it's seen better days, but then they can take it to a new home and it can have a new life, and they still have those memories of the furniture piece.
Just how big is this trend, Vivian?
It's really big. I think that a lot of we know that the boomer age group 55 plus are something like 30% of the population today across Canada. And the population is aging. I do want to mention, though, that it's not just addressing the 55 plus. There are the 30s and 40-year-olds who have parents who are 60, 65 plus, that the 30, 40-year-olds see their parents in these large homes and thinking, maybe, Mom, Dad, it's time to make a change for you, too. And they talk to their boomer parents and things start happening. And I think that it is a definite trend that people want to travel, they want to have an ease of lifestyle, they don't want to upkeep the house, the roof, the garden. They want to go away and feel safe. So there are options out there to downsize. And it's a trend that's growing.